Yes. Welcome to the Free Yourself Conference Gala. Now, I know you're probably saying, it's not October 7th. No, it's not. But I'm going to go ahead and do my presentation right now. Before we get started, I want to just explain what's going on right now. So, I am Alayla Carroll. I'm the owner of Coaching LLC. I am organizing an event. The event that I'm organizing is called the Free Yourself Comfort Gala. So you might say, what are you freeing yourself from? Well, let's see. The reason why I am putting this event together is because he said he will not hit me anymore. He said he won't hit me anymore, but isn't that what they all say? Isn't that what all the abusers say? I won't hit you anymore. I won't do it again. Give me one more chance. Let's go to counseling. By now, you should know what this event is about. Yes, it is time to make domestic violence our business because he said he would not hit me anymore. Before we get started with this presentation, I have to give you the warnings. This presentation contains violence, you guys. It also contains profanity and it has sensitive information. So if you're one of the type of people who feel like, I don't really want to see that right now, click off, all right? Don't even continue. But when it gets to the part where it's going to get to all this violence and profanity and sensitive information, I will warn you again before I click on it and let you see it. So you can watch it up until that point and just beware that once I get to that point, I will let you know. This is the face of my abuser. He looked like he's a nice man, huh? He looks so nice, so well put together. I mean, we look happy, don't we? Looks can be deceiving. Yes, it really can. I was miserable. I was very miserable. I was putting on a smile just because. Remember one thing, I want you guys, it's not even about this picture, it's more so about what's in the background. Remember the word in the background, prayer, because we're going to get back to that. I just want to make sure that you remember it. Also, before we get started, I want you to do me a favor. Think about anybody that you know, male or female. But my presentation is about me and what I went through as a domestic violence survivor. But I'm not alone in this. There are other women who have been going through this situation. There's also men who have been going through this situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm not excluding the men out of this, not by any means, but I am doing this presentation on myself because I wanted to do this presentation at the actual event. But because this presentation is a little lengthy, I don't want to take up too much time at the event doing my part. So I'm going to do my part right now. And I do want to invite you guys to come out to the event. It's going to be October 7th. If you want more information, just hit me up and you can just send me a message and I can give you the information. Also, it's going to be in Houston, Texas at the Holiday Inn Westway. It starts at 6 p.m. Doors open at 5. And you should just come out and participate. You do have to register. So I'm letting you know that right now. You can't just show up and be like, I want to get a seat. No. There will be limited seats available. So you have to register, you have to go online. I will put the link in the comment where you can click on it and register for your ticket. That way I will know how many people are actually coming. I also want to say, if you're bringing your children with you to this event, do not register your kids. All right? Only adults register. Children do not need to register. And the reason for that is because I don't want to have children taking up the space where an adult should have been, and it would say, oh, you got 80 people coming, when most of them are children. That's not how that's going to go, because we're also going to be catered. There's limited place. There are limited plates for adults. When I say limited, every adult who register, they also get a plate. And that means that if you register your children, then that is an adult plate that they have. Children will have their own separate plates. So I don't, and yes, I say I don't because I am the one who's sponsoring this event. It's sponsored by my company, Coaching LLC. And I just want to make sure that everyone gets their fair chance and their fair share of what they have registered for. Make sure when you come, you are dressed to the T. Okay? This is a gala, so you have to dress up, you have to look beautiful, you have to have all that going on, okay? Look like you're going to the prom or to some type of event that's for the queen. Okay? So, anyways, I'm going to continue my presentation. Put yourself in the victim's shoes. If you know anybody who has been battered, any female that's been battered, you know for sure what she went through. Put yourself in her shoes. Look at her as you. What if that person was you? Who cares if male or female? What if that person was you? Put yourself in the person's shoes. I used to be one of the people who used to judge. I was big on judging people. And I'm not saying judging people like, this person like this or that person. No, not that kind of judge. What I'm saying is, I was one of the people who, if I saw or heard of a situation where a female was in an abusive relationship with a man, I always thought like, why don't she just leave? Why is she with that man? Dang, she got kids too, and she gonna subject her kids to that type of abuse? Oh, this is just stupid. What's wrong with her? But everything changed when I became the victim. That's why I say put yourself in the victim's shoes. Yeah. So what you're seeing here is me holding up a sign. And the sign says, I will not be defined by my hair. And I'm pulling down the length of my hair to show the length of my hair. Because it's not short like it looks. It's actually longer than that. It's just I'm a type C curl. My hair has very, very tight curls naturally. I had edges. Yeah, my edges are gone now. So you're probably saying, okay, where are you going with this? So where I'm going with this is, my ex-husband hated my natural hair. He do not like it. He did not like it. I don't know what he's like now, but at the time when we was together, he did not like my natural hair. He hated it. And I didn't even understand why. He never explained to me why. He never said, I don't like your natural hair because of this. No, it was just, I don't want you to wear your own hair. I need you to cover it up. Put a wig on, put some weave in your head, but do not wear your own hair. I don't understand. Who give you that God-given right to tell me how I'm supposed to look and how I'm supposed to wear my hair? That is one of my pride and joy, is my hair. Because I used to do hair from age 9 all the way until now, to this very day. I went to cosmetology school, got my license in that. I also was making money when I was in high school, this was my moneymaker. I was a walking billboard, okay? I would do my hair every 4 days just so I can show people I can do hair. That means I can also do yours too. Because the hardest thing about doing hair is your own. So for me to do my own hair, I'm showing you that I can also do yours. So I used to make money doing that. And that was my pride and joy. So to get with a guy to tell me that I'm not allowed to rock my own hair, I did not wear weave until I was in my 20s. So that really, really bothered me when he was telling me that I had to wear weave, that I could not wear my natural hair. Now, I know you probably say, well, you got weave on your hair right now. True, as true as that may be. But the problem that I was having with him was that it was my choice. And he was taking my choice away from me, telling me that I can't no longer be myself. I did not wear weave often. I wore my natural hair more times than I wore hair weave in my head. So it was really doing something to me. And as I said, it got worse. It did, because I got upset about it. Now, what happened this particular day was that we was riding to go somewhere. I don't remember where we was actually going. I don't remember exactly where. But what I do remember, that was in the car, and he looked at me with this look. I'm thinking everything was normal. And he was like, why are you wearing your hair like that? And I'm like, what's wrong with my hair? I had just washed it too. So it's wet right here. Yeah, my hair was wet. So I'm like, I don't even have time to put weave in my head if I wanted to. I needed to dry. But what I was actually doing that day, I had just took weave out of my head. And I was trying to let my hair breathe. It needed some sunlight. You know, I'm like, hey, you're not going to just make me go cover my head up because you don't like it. At least give me the opportunity to dry my hair and get some sun on it for a couple of days. Oh, he just went off on me. And I was like, you know what? Just take me home. I'm not even going to go with you. I'm not going to go with you. Because we had just pulled off. And I said, you know what? Just take me back to the house. So he took me back to the house, and he left and went wherever he was going. And then I decided to chop my hair completely off. Do I regret chopping my hair off? Yeah, I do. Because I grew my hair for a good while. And I had a good grade of hair. And I haven't gotten my hair back like that since. It's been a while now. My hair is like so short. And I just actually just recently cut it off again. And you would probably say, oh, just grow your hair back out. No, it's not as easy when you don't have edges anymore. My edges are gone. So I have to cover it up now. It's almost like he got what he wanted. Even though he really didn't, because I still will rock my natural hair. I just have to do it in a short haircut in order for it to look decent. Sad but true. Anyways, what you see here is that when he got back to the house, he was livid. He was mad. He saw my hair cut off like this. Oh, he was hot. I didn't understand because you wanted me to cover it up anyway. So what's the point in you getting mad at my hair being short? Come to find out, he hated shorter hair than he did natural hair. That wasn't my problem. It's his problem. But yet he felt like it was my problem because I should. Now what it was is that now you're defying me. You're being defiled. That's what you're doing. So he grabbed me by my neck and he choked me. Right here you can see the bruises around my neck. Yeah, he choked me. And slung me on the floor, got his big tail on top of me. He weighs about 220 some pounds. He's a big guy. He's about 6'4". He's a tall dude. So you can imagine all that weight on me. At this time, I weighed about 170 pounds. So, and I'm 5'8". So you know this man was throwing me around, okay? And I tried to, once I got him to release me, because I was fighting back as much as I could. Once I got him to release me, I called the police. I couldn't call on my phone because he had took my phone, so I ran downstairs to the neighbor's house and I asked her, can I use her phone? And I was telling her, well, she already heard because she said, I heard y'all up there. She said, here's my phone. Yes, call the police. I don't like him anyway. So when I called the police and the police showed up, police gonna tell me I just need to divorce him and leave him. He didn't take him to jail or nothing. He didn't even do anything. He took my statement, he took his statement, and he said, you just need to divorce him. And I was thinking like, well, we just got married. It hadn't even been, we haven't even had our first anniversary yet. So I'm just like, this is not cool because this is my second marriage. I had been divorced before. That marriage ended because my first husband had committed adultery and he had a baby while we was married. I couldn't handle it, so we divorced. Now I'm married again 10 years later, and I'm thinking that maybe this time it's going to be better because I'm older and I'm more mature. Maybe it'll be better. My second marriage was totally worse than my first marriage. My second marriage was a nightmare, okay? And I just knew that if I divorced right then and there, I was really, honestly, I was prideful. I didn't want to get a divorce because of my pride and my own ego. Because I felt like I went so long without getting married. I was tired of dating and all that. So I stayed with this man for my own selfish reasons. So you probably say, okay, well, if that's the case, then that's your fault. No, it's not my fault for a man to put his hands on me. It's never the victim's fault to get whooped by anybody, okay? Because everyone is held accountable for their own actions. I didn't ask to get my tail whooped. Especially when I know I didn't do anything to him. But to him, he felt like I was defying him and he did this to me. So right here when you see me that I'm at a hotel because the police said one of y'all have to leave the house. You cannot stay. One of you guys have to leave. So I chose to leave because I didn't want him coming back that night bothering me. So I chose to go and I went to a hotel. Well, you can see we got back together. I didn't divorce him. I stayed with him. Here was my actual birthday. Yeah. So we got married in November. This April, because my birthday is in April. I'm trying to give this man what he wants, hoping that he will not have a problem with me anymore. Thinking that if I give him what he wants, maybe he will calm down. So I'm in this old ugly, hideous dress. I don't like that dress. It's just ugly. Trust me, the first thing I did was throw that thing in the trash. And then this dress he bought me, and the pearls come from his mama, and I'm in stockings and stuff. Like, come on, man. This is my 39th birthday. I'm 39 right here. And I'm 38, 39. One of them. I know I'm in my 30s. And I'm saying to myself, like, oh my goodness. When I look at these pictures, I am so upset with myself to allow myself to even go through this. All in the name of love? Come on, man. What he wanted was for me to dress and wear my hair in a particular way. He wanted me to look like First Lady Miss Michelle Obama. Why? Why though? Why? I'm not her. I'm me. Okay? He wanted to have hair, wigs. These are wigs. Actually, this is hair that I made myself. This is a wig. That right there, I actually made my own quick weave with that one. But the point is that this is what he wants. I was not happy. I was miserable. And even after all this, he still found issues to be mad at me about. Still found problems. This one particular day, we had came from church. Actually, this happened several times, but this is the time that stand out to me the most. We came from church, and as we was leaving, it was raining really hard, and he had the nerve to tell me that I'm his problem. I don't even know what he was mad about. He just looked at me because he had a lot of time. He had these moments where he would just look at me and just say certain things that's ugly. I mean, I'd have been every bitch in the world to him. I can't stand you. You ain't shit. You ain't nothing. I'd have been all that, okay, to him out of his mouth. And I'm saying, okay, here I am doing these things for you, and you're still unhappy, and you're still finding a problem with me. And I have not lied to you about nothing. I have been faithful to you. I come home as soon when I get off from work. I let you know where I'm at when I'm at work because I travel and all those things. And I'm like, I talk to you the whole time while I'm at work, that kind of stuff. It's a lot of insecurity going on with this dude, right? A lot of insecurities. So when I realized that I was having enough was enough. It was time for me to start fighting back. You might say, why are you fighting back now? You should have been fought back. You're right. I should have been and fought back. I should have fought back the very first time that he showed me aggression in himself and dropped him. Because before we got married, I saw the aggression there. It wasn't hidden, but it wasn't as bad as it got after we got married. But no matter what, I still saw the aggression, and I should have left him then, but I didn't. So what made me decide to fight back? Well, I decided to start fighting back because my health became at risk. I started suffering from migraines, terrible migraines. I have never in my life experienced these type of migraines before until I got with this dude. Let me try to describe. I'm going to try to describe to you exactly how it was for me. For a year and a half, it's like I woke up one day and all I felt was this blow to my head, like someone was punching me in the back of my head every 30 seconds. Like, boom. And I'm like tensing. Boom. And I'm like tensing. And boom. Every 30 seconds, okay? Then it went from that to just a pounding headache where everything was just horrible. The light, I was getting nausea, I was throwing up, sound, everything. I couldn't take it. But I went through that for a year and a half. Now, how could a person go through this every day for a year and a half? Well, there were some days that I didn't have the migraine. It was short-lived in those days. So this is what happened. When I was at work, I didn't have a migraine. And this is for real. I didn't have a migraine. I was away. So when I was away from him, no migraine. When I come home, instant migraine. It started like instantly. It was almost like a magnet that was pulling into me, that was draining all my energy out of me and causing me to have such a migraine. And then I would go back to work, no migraine. And I would be at work for 4 days at a time and then come home. This is how I did it. I'd be home for 4 days, work 4 days, home 4 days, and then I changed my schedule up to 4 days, then kind of like giving myself maybe 2 or 3 days off, and then another 4 days, and then 2 and 3 days off, because I'm a flight attendant, so I can just make my schedule the way I want it. So that's what I was actually doing. I was making myself have less and less time at home to have to deal with this man. But I felt that something was really wrong with me, and I need to find out. So I went to the doctor. They was telling me they couldn't find anything. They did all types of studies on me, started doing study drugs, having me take these study pills. And I was like, wow. They said, well, we did EKGs, we did CAT scans, nothing is working, nothing has shown that you have a problem. So we don't really know where the problem is coming from, but now all we can do is try to control the symptoms. One day, I was at the doctor getting my vitals done, and he had never came to the doctor with me until this one particular time. He showed up, he walked through the door, and as I was getting my vitals done, my blood pressure went real fast, like right up there. And the nurse, she was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Wait a minute, your blood pressure is high. This has never happened before. So let us find out what was." So she turned around and she saw him, and she was like, "I think I know what your problem is now." She said, "Have y'all been fighting?" And I said, "All the time, all the time." And she was like, "That's not good because that's stress. That's where your headache is coming from. If you don't get this under control, you can have an aneurysm." And I was like, "Oh my God." I had a cousin that died of an aneurysm. He was 35, and here I am, 39. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this no more. I don't want to die because of this man. Oh no, it was time to make some changes, you guys. This is how I used to look before I met him. I had my natural hair. Yep, that's me. I look happy because I was happy. I wore pants. See, he didn't want me to wear pants. He felt like women should not wear pants. We should be in beautiful dresses. I mean, literally, this man had a problem. We should be in beautiful dresses and always put to the T when you walk out the door. All that kind of stuff. I was happy during this time. And I really wish that I would not have came back. I mean, would not have gotten with him. I was with my nephew. This is my nephew. He's now my son. I adopted him. But before, this is my nephew. And I was still in my natural hair, right? I told you guys, I barely wore weave. I was always in my own hair most of the time. Every now and then I would throw some weave in my head. I had edges. Look, they're gone now. But I had edges. And this is my birthday too. Now you can see the difference between that look on my birthday and this look on my birthday. You see the difference, right? I was totally happy. I was going out with my friends. This here I'm studying. I got my degree. I was happy. And I'm with my family. He did not like me having my nephew with me. And what I started doing was not getting my nephew as much because I didn't want to subject him to the pain and the trauma and the abuse that I was under because it's not fair to him. So I didn't get him as much when me and my ex-husband was together. I barely got him. But how I ended up getting him as my son, I'm going to get into that. I decided that I did not want to be controlled anymore. I got sick of it. So what did I do? Remember the word prayer? Yeah. You probably say, that's all you did was pray? No, that ain't all I did. But that was the beginning of the change for me. First, I had to be honest with myself. I had to be honest about why did I get married in the first place. I got married for the wrong reasons. Yeah. Remember I said that my ego was in the way, my pride was in the way. I had fear of being alone. I didn't want to be alone anymore. I had a 2-bedroom by myself, and I came home to myself. And I was tired of dating. So I got depressed actually I wasn't depressed. I got desperate about becoming a wife, wanting to get married. one of the things that I will see when I saw people on social media and their wedding dresses and all that, and I'm like, oh, that could be me, and oh, I can imagine what my wedding gonna be like. Oh, that's a dangerous imagination for any girl to have, because you overlook everything that is right in front of you, all the red flags and the danger, danger, danger. You ignore all those signs just so you can be in a wedding dress. That was me. I had the signs there about that man when I saw the aggression in him. And I continued to date him. I continued to want to be a wife, because I did not think that a man would make me his wife again and keep me this time. You know, my first husband, we was young when we got married. We both was 24, and we just went into it not knowing what we was doing. So it's just one of those things that I felt like, okay, here it is 10 years later, whatever, I can do better this time than I did the first time. It wasn't on me to do better. It was on me to pick better, and I didn't pick better. That was my problem. So after I own up to the real reason why I got married, after I decided to be honest with myself about why I got married, then I started fasting. I took every alone time that I had and I gave it to God. When I was at work at the hotels, I would close myself in and I would pray and I would fast. And I asked for forgiveness because I knew I was wrong and why I got married. I knew that God was giving me signs before I married him not to marry him, and yet I still chose to get married to him. So I had to ask for forgiveness. I cried out. Oh my God, I cried out so many times. I cried out so many times to God. Please help me. Help me. Help me. Help me. Because I don't know what to do anymore. And if I divorce him, now I feel like there's going to be a stain on me due to the fact that I hadn't caught him cheating yet. Remember, I said yet, because he did cheat on me. I found that out. But it was just one of these things that I had to make some changes. I constantly prayed. I stayed prayed up when I was at the house. I created a prayer closet. I created a prayer closet. And I remember one day I was in the closet and I started to pray. He came in the closet. He sat on the floor. He looked at me with this evil look in his eyes. And he said to me, I can't stand you. I hate you. I cannot stand you. I hate your guts. I don't like you. And I was like, wow. Okay, this is different. So I heard the Holy Spirit say, don't say nothing. You're in a closet. He can kill you in there. Don't do that. And you can yell, nobody won't hear you. So don't say nothing. He said, you're not up against a human right now. You're up against something else. And that was when Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10 and 11 through 12 came to me. And it says, finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the power of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. That's when I realized that I was not fighting him. I was actually fighting those demons that was inside of him. Whew. When I recognized that, I said, God, what spirit is that talking to me? He said, it's not just one, it's legions of them. But the main one that's in him is the Jezebel. He wants control of you. He wants to break your spirit. He wants to tear you apart. And now that you are consulting with me to fight against him, he don't like it. And I asked another question, is he aware that this is happening with him? He said, yeah, he's aware. He's just allowing it to continue. And I said, oh my God, this is crazy. And only not crazy, it's kind of scary. I really need to get away from him now. But how am I going to do it, Father? What are you going to do to help me to get away from him? Because I don't want to die like this. I don't want this to be the reason why I'm gone. Because I have a grandmother, my dad's mother. She died of domestic violence. Her boyfriend shot her in the head at age 32, young. I did not get a chance to meet her. And I didn't want history repeating itself with me. And the funny thing about it, I look a lot like her when she was younger. It's just one of those things when I see the pictures of her. And I just felt like this has to be, something has to be done. God heard my prayer. He told me to stop fighting him in the natural. You cannot win physically with this man. He's bigger than you, he's stronger than you, and he has legions of demons in him. That is why he attacks you so quickly and you don't see it coming. Now it's time to fight in a better way. I'm going to strengthen you. I'm going to give you everything you need, and you are going to be able to get rid of him and get rid of him for good. God did a flip on my health. My migraine stopped. And then this happened to him. I'm not making this stuff up, you guys. This happened for real. So, this is his foot. He had a little bitty cut, very, very, very small cut on his foot. Within a day, not even a whole 24 hours, it opened up to about that size. And it swelled up so fat that he couldn't walk on it. You can see it here, it's swollen. He could not walk on it. Then he started getting headaches. Isn't that something? I don't wish nothing bad on nobody, even my enemy. But I understood what was happening here. I understood that God was taking control. I started reading about Abigail in the Bible. If you haven't read about Abigail, do it. Especially you women who are going through something with your husband or your boyfriend. Understand her story. So I related to her. Abigail was a woman who was married to a fool. His name was Nabat and something like that. Either way go, the meaning of his name means fool. All right. He was a king, and David took care of him, of his flocks and everything. The king was out having a feast. While he was out having a feast, David and his men was hungry, and he sent word back to the king asking the king could they send some food. Well, the king sent word back to David telling him, I ain't giving you nothing. I mean, for all I know, you probably eating my stuff right now. Out there eating some of my cattle and stuff like that. David was livid, and he said, I am going to kill him. And he made sure that the word got back to him. So Abigail heard about it too. So what Abigail did, she did not want her husband to die. She decided to go and take matters in her own hands. She gathered up as much as she can, much food and as much water, any kind of wine, everything, bread, everything. She gathered it up and she snuck out there to where they were, and she provided David and his men with food and something to drink. When she came to him, she was like, my Lord, please spare my husband's life. Well, because she did it, and David knew that Abigail was a good woman, he decided not to kill the king. So when Abigail got back to her castle, she told the king what she did, and he got angry, like so angry to where he had a stroke and he died. This is what was happening right here in this moment. God was getting ready to take him out. He had no idea why he's still alive. He had no idea why he's still alive. He diabetic. He wasn't taking any medicine for it. He did have medicine to take, but he wasn't taking it properly. He was barely taking it here and there when he felt like it. When his foot would get a little swollen, he'll take it. Dude, you're supposed to take the medicine every day. But he wasn't doing that. Then he had hypertension, high blood pressure. His blood pressure shot up through the roof. So what ended up happening that they decided that they was going to take his foot if they couldn't save his foot. So they had podiatrists come in every day to check on his foot. He spent a whole week in the hospital, 7 days. You can see me down here. You can see that dress, whatever, down here. I'm still in the dress. Down here, trying to be there by his side. But when I got the information that he was about to lose his foot, they was going to take it. I got up, I went outside, and I immediately started praying. The power of a praying woman and a fasting woman is very powerful, very powerful. If you have not started, start. If you're a woman who's dealing with what I'm talking about, start this and start immediately. First, you need to ask for forgiveness, change your ways, acknowledge the things that you did was wrong, and then cry out to God, pray, fast, and stay consistent in it. I prayed and I said, God, I got to have a talk with you. I see what you're doing and I understand it. But if they take his foot, it's going to be a burden on me. Now I'm going to have to take care of this man for real. Is this how we going to do it? There got to be another way. It just has to be another way, God. This man, he's mean. He's mean. Even before all this man is mean. So I know if he get his foot taken from him, he's going to be even meaner to me. I don't want a Diary of the Mad Black Woman Tyler Perry situation to happen. Because I don't want to be the one to go to jail because I did something to him. So God, please, find another way. There gotta be another way. So he went into surgery. Now I have to say this. Before he went into surgery, he was going into surgery the next day. I came to the hospital with my natural hair, thinking that maybe he'll be a little softened up because he's about to go to surgery and maybe he will have some empathy. He don't have empathy, you guys. Maybe he will have empathy and not be tripping about my hair. Oh, no. He went ballistic. He went off on me. He's like, why are you looking like that? Coming up in here looking like that. I know those people heard him. And I'm like, you telling me to keep my voice down. Here you are yelling and screaming. You always tell me to keep my voice down. But here you are yelling and screaming in the hospital. And they're going to make it seem like I'm doing something to you. And I'm like, oh my God. You tripping off of my hair? My hair? Out of all things, you're going to trip off of my hair. Come on, man. So I said, you know what? I'm not coming back here no more. I'm done. This is over with. I'm out of here. You ain't got to worry about me no more. I would not be around even when you get out of surgery. I'm not going to be there. And I wasn't. I didn't go. I did not go. And when he got home, because I had to pick him up from the hospital. I did at least do that. When he got home, he did not have any empathy, no sympathy, no nothing. He still was mad. He still had an attitude. We even argued then while he's walking on crutches, all this stuff. I'm like, this dude is sick. Because now you on crutches with your foot all banged and wiped and all messed up and stuff. I'm still showing my wifely self, doing my wifely duties. I'm still doing that. He needed to dress his foot, clean it out, and I'm cleaning it out for him and redressing his foot. I helped him get back healthy and back able to walk on that foot again. And you would think that he would have been happy about that he would have had some type of gratitude about it, but he didn't. He got worse. Oh, yes, he got worse. And the worse that he got, the more it just made me to a point where I just like, this can't be my life. So, what you're going to see here now, this is where I'm saying the sensitive information. This is the sensitive information. There's violence in this videos, in both these videos, as well as profanity. So, if you can't handle it, this is the time to click off this video. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. If not, I'm going to have to find it on the YouTube and let you see it. But I just want you to know that this is what's going on in the video. He's mad at me because of the dress that I have on. So I have on a long maxi dress that comes down to my ankles, but it's spaghetti strap. And right in here, you can see cleavage, my chest. He did not like that. And he felt like, to me, he felt like that I should not have allowed myself to look that way or go outside looking like that. I'm going to let it catch up while I talk. There's going to be points in the video where he's going to say a lot of things. You will be able to hear his tone. You will be able to hear how he talks to me. You will also be able to hear how he said some things that told on himself. Okay? And not only that he has said some things that told on himself, it was what made me make the decision to put him out. I did put him out. After this here day, this was the last day that we had our encounter together. After this day, I decided I was done. Completely over the marriage. He had to get out. Okay? So, also, in this video, I wanted to also point out what he was truly mad about. Remember when I said that I adopted my nephew? During this time, my nephew had went into the CPS foster home. My brother and his wife, they had gotten locked up or whatever. So I didn't want my nephew to grow up in the foster homes. And I wanted to have kids. So I don't have any biological children of my own. I want to have kids. And since I have always been in his life, who better of a person to be a mother to him is me. When I got my nephew, I did not think that I was going to have to adopt him. I thought that I was just going to be a guardian to him. But because of his age, he was 5, they say any child that's under 8 or something like that in the state of Texas, they have to be put up for adoption. So they was going to adopt him out to another family, and I wasn't having that. I'm sorry. I don't care. Nobody was going to take that child away from me like that. So I told him that I'm going to adopt. I'm not going to let him just stay in the system. See, God knew what God was going to do. Because remember, I asked for a better way than this way of him taking his leg, and then I have to take care of this man like this. So God allowed this moment to happen so I can wise up and strengthen myself up and become stronger in the Lord to where I can fight him. So he gave me other reasons to fight for, which was my nephew, which is my son now. I was fighting for that little boy's life. And I was not going to let some big old grown ass man take that from me. Especially when we was already having issues. Now, was I going to bring my son into this environment? No. I was already planning on letting that man go at some point. I was trying to figure out how to do it. He helped me figure it out right there.
Mad because I was mad, I was stopping you trying to say something else. I wasn't mad, but because you went there. No, what I said to you was be responsible for saying positive things. The other things don't need to be said about me. And then if you want to take me on Facebook, if you want to take me on Facebook, and you know what? That's your business. That's your business. Not about me though. But that's what you do. That is. Don't bring me fucking stress because you want to do things that you should have been doing. You should have been putting me in some situation that I didn't belong in. And then you turn around and say, well, I didn't want to die. Well, if you didn't want to die, why did I go through all that?
See how he's attacking me? I grabbed my keys.
I'll get it off. If you give me my fucking key, I'll get it off. I'm tired of you. You talk about you done. You don't understand nothing but yourself. You don't think about me. I've never talked about you like that. I don't know I would. Say it for me because you don't even understand that. I'm here because I ain't got nowhere else to go.
Now, thank you for telling me the truth.
Well, the truth is
Now, I
the
know
truth.
you don't want me.
He said, I'm here because I have nowhere else to go.
I'm going to tell you what I don't want. I don't want to be caught while I have to keep fighting for my rights. And all I'm trying to do is make it better for you. If I didn't want to do it, you're right, I wouldn't have been here. But I'm trying to do real estate. I'm trying to do things in a man so you can take care of home. Now, why do I have to do that? Because that's what I want to do.
All that was lies.
I said that.
That's why I just said, the things that come
I
out
said
of your
that.
mouth, you expect for me to just drop it.
And the things that come out of your mouth, you tell the people about us, but we don't agree.
Because you did.
Blow out your voice.
The truth is the truth.
That ain't the truth.
It is the truth. Then you have an agenda.
I didn't have an agenda but to get myself together.
Get out of my face.
You want to make me seem like you always say you don't need to be doing it, but you still
You
doing
have
anything.
other agendas.
No, I didn't.
Other agendas to do.
Whatever, you got a big fat mouth.
Now that's coffee in that cup. It's hot coffee in that cup. And he throws it on me, in my face. And I threw my coffee back at him. Now what you see here is me throwing my coffee back at him because I was just done. I was fed up with this dude. Oh yeah. You're probably like, man, that was a bold move. Yeah, it was a bold move, and it was also not thought of. I didn't even think what I was doing. I didn't think about what I was actually doing. I just did it. And he really attacked me then. Oh, goodness, it didn't. What happened? Huh. It just lost connection. What the? Okay, hold up. Let me try to reconnect. That normally don't happen. I'm surprised it happened. But I want to reconnect it and see. So the next video, what you're going to see in the next video is the actual part of him hitting me. He's throwing me around the room and all those things. And, yeah, let's just watch it, okay? I know you're probably like, dang, this is tough. Why did you post this? Because I knew that one day I was going to tell my story. This is my first time showing this to people. I had it on YouTube and I had it on private for a long time. But I decided it's time to share my story. And it's been 3 years, but hey, I'm able to deal with it now. I can cope a lot better than I was before.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, to my seat that I cleansed because it's me.
I'm ready for it. Get it and go.
All right.
Shut it down.
You ain't working.
I know I'm not. It's your right. I did everything for you.
Only thing you do is cause me headache. You want a big country guy. You ain't no bitch.
Yeah, I call him a devil. I call him a devil because that's exactly what he was. All that was not necessary. It just wasn't. You're attacking me because of the dress that I have on. All you had to do was say, baby, I really don't want you to wear that dress. Can you wear something else? Maybe put another shirt underneath it or a jacket over it, or well, it was too hot for a jacket. This is July. It's hot in Houston. So why would I put a jacket on? But at least I would have changed clothes. Come back and tell me I love you. What the heck is that?
I'm done with you. You can't talk to me ever.
You want to know the reason why he told me to stop screaming? Because he knew the neighbors would call the cops like the last time. This time, it would have been him actually going to jail. And I felt like it was time for me to stop being afraid of this man. I just needed to stop being afraid of him. That's what it was. I was afraid of him due to the fact that I knew he was a big guy. And I was afraid that this man was going to just hurt me. I mean, literally. And you already saw what he did. You saw exactly what he did. So I was afraid that he was going to hurt me. And I didn't want to be hurt anymore. So I knew that I had to make some changes in my life. And I knew that I had to put him out. It was just what it was. So I did. I definitely did that. What is happening with this thing? I didn't think it was going to do all this. So what I'm going to do is continue to go on. So yeah, I put him out and I divorced him. It was time to make that change. So I did. What is happening? Goodness gracious. Okay, let me see if I can get rid of this here. It's just... Please excuse the technical difficulties. I didn't think it was going to do all this. I thought I was going to be able to just switch back and forth. I had no idea it was going to turn to where I wasn't going to be able to finish this up. So I'm going to keep going even while it's doing that. So I ended up divorcing him, and I decided to... I didn't divorce him right away. What I did was I filed for divorce. So it took a while for him to sign the papers because he did not want to sign the papers. He was adamant about not signing the papers. He was serious. So I told him that if he don't sign the papers, I was going to release the video of him hitting me to the world. And not only that, I was going to use it in court to get my divorce. So he ended up signing the papers after that because he didn't want the video to be released. Now you probably say, why did I release the video now? Well, like I said, this is my story. This is my life. This is what I went through. And I have every right to share my testimony and what I went through. And so that's why I'm sharing it now. I know it's been some time has passed, like about 3 years has passed. And even though it's been 3 years, I just know that I have to get past this, because when I packed all his things, I put it in the storage. And not only did I put it in the storage, I called his mother up and I told her what happened. She didn't know that her son was like that, so she said. And I knew that I didn't want to send her the video for her to see that because that would have hurt her heart. She was an elderly lady. She didn't deserve to see her son in that moment or in that light. No mother want to see their child like that, no matter how horrible they are. So I just decided that I was not going to do that to her. I didn't want her to be that kind of mother that's hurting behind the tragic decisions that her son make. So I just told her, hey, I got a storage. I put his stuff in the storage. I'm gonna mail you the key, and I'm gonna mail you the code and the password code and all that to the gate and the unit number. I don't care what y'all do with his stuff. I'm not gonna pay a monthly fee on his stuff because I was tired of paying for everything anyway. Like when I told you that he wasn't working, so when we got married, he was working. He was working at Sears, and he decided he didn't want to work anymore. After that, he never got another job to work. He just basically just was putting out, so he said he was putting out applications. And what I saw later on when I got on the computer to start seeing things, I saw that he was putting out applications, but he was mainly putting out applications to jobs that he did not qualify for. And also, I did see all the messages of different women that he was contacting and talking to, and even some of those women he was going to their houses, man. He was cheating on me too. So all those things came out after I put him out, and I was able to just see a lot of that he was hiding from me. See, what's done in the dark does come to the light. And so this is a video of me. Okay, here is all your clothes, your suits. As you can see, everything in those bags are your suits. He got a lot of clothes, man. Everything down here is clothes as well. A lot of clothes. Clothes. Clothes, like man. Clothes and clothes and clothes. I'm not even gonna play all these videos, man. As much clothes and shoes this man had. He had more clothes and shoes than a woman. I'm saying stuff like that. I mean, way more clothes and shoes than a woman. And you would think that I should have had more clothes than he did. The man had more clothes than me. That's why we didn't share the same closet. Boy. When I put him out and I put his stuff in the storage, this time I said to myself, he will not hit me anymore. It was time to let that man know. But the thing is that every abuser is different and every victim is different. Everybody don't survive getting their tail whooped. Everyone don't survive getting beat up. And people need help. Everyone don't understand that this is not a choice. A person just say, I'm going to just be in this relationship and I'm get my tail whooped. No. You don't understand everybody's story. You don't know what this person what's happening with this person and why they are in this relationship, going through all this violent situation with whoever they're with. It could be because they're children, they don't want something to happen to their kids, they don't want something to happen to their family, or maybe the abuser threatened their life and said they're going to kill them, and they know that that abuser will probably do it because what's going on is that the abuser wants control. He wants all control. See, I had God in my life to help strengthen me and to cover me and protect me to keep this dude from becoming that person. But everybody don't survive. They're abusing. They just don't. What I want to share here is the laws of Texas. Texas laws against domestic violence, man. I was upset that that cop did not take him to jail. I was mad about that. Now you would think that I was one woman like most who don't press charges. I don't want nothing happening to him. No, I was not that kind of woman. I really wanted that dude to go to jail because I felt like I could have got rid of him then. Yes, it was my first time that he hit me and we hadn't gotten to our first anniversary, but I really believe that it would have gave me enough time to rethink that marriage and not be with him, because that was my apartment. He moved down from Nebraska to Texas, so he could have easily just went back, and I could have easily moved from that location by the time he gotten out, or had it to where he couldn't come back around. Most likely, I would have probably moved just so I didn't have to deal with him anymore. But that's why I say I feel like I was upset about the cop not doing anything. If we were to do more and get more involved in situations, not saying insert yourself in a domestic violence situation because that's how you can get killed. Don't do that. What I'm talking about is that if you have any kind of information on how to help a victim, try. Now, I can go and play this video. It's not planned, so that's why I'm like, what is
How
happening?
are domestic violence charges defined in Texas? Attorney Gary Medlin explains that. Texas law has a very generous definition of the parties involved in a domestic violence situation, including anyone who is a relative by blood or marriage of the victim, as well as anyone who lives in the same household, and also anyone who is in a dating relationship. It can be a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or even a casual dating relationship. If an assault is committed between any two parties, then it is a Class A misdemeanor. An assault is any type of bodily injury, and Texas law is also very generous in defining bodily injuries. It can be pain or discomfort or anything slightly temporary. It doesn't have to cause any type of visible mark, bruise, cut, or scrape. It can be a slap, a pinch, a push, or a shove such that it causes pain. If it's an assault on a family member, this is called assault with bodily injury, and is even more serious than a normal assault case, because if it's alleged to be against a family member, then it has more consequences. In a typical assault case, you have the ability to seal that record so it's not disclosed to the public. But with an assault on a family member, this isn't available to you. Whether you get a deferred adjudication, probation, which translates to being found not guilty, or you get a conviction, serve your time, then serve probation, you can never get the charge off your record. So there is nothing that prevents it from being disclosed to the public. Furthermore, if you are accused of that offense again and are found guilty, it's a felony. If you have been convicted of assault on a family member or placed on probation or deferred adjudication for that crime, then it's a federal offense to own or possess a firearm. So you no longer have the right to have a gun, even in your own home for self-defense. If you are in need of powerful and strong criminal defense, contact Attorney Gary Medlin in Fort Worth, Texas for a free case evaluation.
So, I know you're probably like, why did I play that video? I wanted you to get the information on why I was upset with the cop not doing anything. Because I felt like if the cop would have arrested
How are
him,
domestic violence charges defined?
I felt like if the cop would have arrested him, then that would have been number one, misdemeanor. Then the second time would have been number two, felony. But I wouldn't allow it to get to the second time because I would have had more time to think about leaving him. Now, I'm not saying it's the cop's fault because it's not. I chose to go back. One of the reasons why I went back because that was my apartment. It had my name on it. It was my apartment. And I knew I had to go back because where was I going to go? Now, he could go back to Nebraska. So I knew on top of that, something just had to change. But what we need, the victim need help. And some of these things they already have in place, but I want to rename it anyway, just so they know not to get rid of it. So one of the things that the victim need is free medical care, free legal care, and help to get a job. If they already have a job, help to get another job, because some of these abusers will find them where they are at work and will shoot them dead, will kill them, or kidnap them and then kill them. So they need a way to be able to get away from the victim for real, permanently. If they don't have a job and they've been getting taken care of by their abuser, now they need some skills. They're gonna need help developing a skill set or something like that to be able to get them a job. They also need shelter. So there are many places where a woman can go to get shelter, which is called, one of the places is the Houston Area Women's Center. And when you register for tickets for the Comfort Gala, 75% of those proceeds will go to the Houston Area Women's Center, because I want to give back. I want to be able to help these women and their children in trying to get away from their abuser. Like I said, everybody don't survive that situation. Everyone is not me, and I can't expect everyone to do what I did. Basically, we're all different and we're all unique in our own way. Another way that you can help the victim is that they need to prosecute. Come on now. You need to prosecute the abuser and make the abuser take accountability. One of the things that they can also do when you hold the abuser accountable